flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In lieu of a prayer tonight, or we could do the president. Okay, in lieu of the prayer, I want to have a moment of silence for Carolyn Kaloa Reiser. She's lived in town a long time. She was on the fire department for many years, was an EMT. Her son was on council. She was a good lady, classy lady, and we're going to miss her, so I would like to have a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you. No. Yes and no. Yeah. All right. Where's my paper at? Everybody's here tonight. It's good to see everyone. Need a motion for the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All except for one typo or whatever.
No, we get those.
He's back.
Shot at the clerk already.
He's back. I'm good, where you at?
Larry Glasgow. Right under clerk treasurer,
Okay.
fourth line down.
Oh, there's no W at the end of it.
No, it's GLA.
GLASGOW.
That looks right to me. Oh,
Yeah, somewhere. I circled the wrong one.
No, right there. His name's. There's no W. There should be a W at the end of his name.
oh, there should be?
Mhm.
Okay. Got it. Okay, a motion by Bailey, second by Harder with one correction. Bennett?
Yes.
Thayer?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Abstain.
For the bills,
Motion.
Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thayer?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
the workers' time report. Fireman's time.
Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thayer?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Okay, Deb, when you're ready, the floor is all yours.
There's one item that I copied off of my email from the state of Ohio I thought was interesting. I'll just share with you. We all know how emails and items are hacked on the computer. This was from our insurance plan called the Ohio Plan, letting us know that the Outer State received information over the past few weeks that many Ohio school districts have been victim of an email scam. What they're doing is they have scanned the email addresses and pretended to be someone in the school system and requested that the payroll account that are direct deposited be sent to a different house. The accounting in the school districts and now it's gone into municipalities. Some of these people have fell for it, switched the money over, and until that person doesn't, realizes they did not receive their paycheck, it's stolen. Gone. I just thought it was interesting. I think it's very wise.
Too bad they don't use their brilliance for something good, you know? Yeah.
They locked them down.
Yeah.
We received a sponsorship form from Fairless School District. They have a 5K run. It's a Mother's Day 5K run. And I've never heard of it until this year. They sent us a sponsorship form. You could be a bronze sponsor for 100, a silver for 250, or a gold for 500. And depending on if you want to sponsor, at the different areas that they put your logo or name on their shirts, or they display it at the race or on the website. If you're interested, it's something that must be new that they're doing.
What's the benefit?
You know, I have to look at it again, I don't know, I read it once. It's Fairless High School. What they're trying to do is to have their 5K and have it completely sponsored, that they don't have to charge people to run it. Does it say where the money goes? I thought it did.
Probably. Donate the majority of the proceeds to Fairless Helping Fairless, a local organization that benefits local families and students by providing clothing, food, school supplies, and much more.
Not Travis Fairless Helping Fairless. Interested, yea or nay? No? Move on? It's Mother's Day.
Yeah, this needs to be returned by April 1st.
So,
Don't we already get, something to school to begin with?
well, we do a yearbook ad,
And for food?
We do the
What do we
food
do
cover.
on
we do the food
That's the
cover.
food cover.
That's why I don't think I wanna do this.
Each of you have a copy of this document. Pull it out, take a look at it. This is a return email from Terry Davis at Ohio Billing. When the auditors were here, if you remember, they discovered an error on the mileage. How we were charging for the loaded miles. After the auditors left, I contacted Ohio Billing. Your next page in shows you what we were charging and then what the recommended rates are. Then I also got from the fire department any changes they wanted to make on if there was a fire and their gear got destroyed, they could bill the insurance companies. So you have all the changes that could be made, but it has to be done by ordinance.
Good idea, yeah.
And you need to decide if you're going to change it. I was the first one to bring this up, and I believe they've talked to Brewster, is that correct?
Yes, Chief
Bruce is
Clusie has
initiating
brought
the
it to their
increase
council
also.
and they're going to go to the same increases. As far as EMS billing, I don't know what they're doing with their gear. The gear on the bottom was my suggestion because I know the cost of gear. But EMS billing, we're trying to stay comparable with Brewster.
So if you so choose, you need to vote to have the solicitor do an ordinance. I didn't even look up the original ordinance, it is that old. We did it probably from around 2000.
Well, the charges that the current rates are $4.50, their suggested rates on just the BLS emergency is $700.
Yep.
So it must have been quite a while
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Well, if
I'll
you look
make a
here,
motion.
2010 was when some of this went in, because it says effective 10/26/10.
I'll make a motion, we have the solicitor do a ordinance to increase the rates
And the gear,
And the gear.
and the gear.
and the gear.
I'll second that. Before we vote on it, I was just talking to Debbie. You know, whenever you vote on this. Yes. Your insurance. Because this all has to be paid through the insurance, right, Bill? When you turn that in, the insurance company pays these bills?
We only soft bill, so I mean, whatever we get from the insurance is what we get, but we hard bill our non-residents, so, yeah, the insurance company would be responsible for, well, the resident, the non-resident would be responsible for the bill themselves, the insurance company would be responsible for our residents. But they're only gonna send you what they
Too
send.
much to start with, but, if you're gonna vote for it, I'll go along with
But
it.
you have to understand, it doesn't mean they're going to pay that.
Right.
Right.
Maybe we bill 700, but they only guarantee 500 on their policy.
Right.
They're gonna pay us what they have agreed to pay
On their policy.
on their policy if it's a resident.
Right.
They pay the 500, if it's a resident, we don't collect the difference.
We
In
can
other
send.
words, we don't go back after the person to try to get.
Oh,
the
no,
money.
no, not for
Unless they
residents.
live out of the area.
Right.
They have to live out of the corporation and out of the township.
Right, we don't, even if we mutual aid Brewster and vice versa, if Brewster mutual aids us, we do not hard bill anybody that's in the Sugar Creek Township area or the Village of Beach City. They are considered a resident.
Okay.
Anybody outside of that area would be responsible for the full bill. So just like a Medicare person, somebody, an older person calls an ambulance, we provide them an ALS ambulance, we may bill them $1,200,
Medicare sends us 75, 80 bucks and we call it even. We don't go after that money, so.
Okay.
We have a motion by McKinney for the changes, second by Hartman. Bennett? Yes. Fair?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott? Yes. Is there anything else I need to give you for that?
You don't have the old
I
ordinance?
didn't pull it for tonight.
Okay.
I can try to find it tomorrow and send it over.
Yeah, if you have time to, I'll use that as a basis, so I understand what was done before.
I'm currently reviewing all the phone bills that are coming in. The phone system has changed over. We had a couple corrections I had to make, and we're still wanting to use the system. There's a lot to it that we don't know. But they're coming in, it's answering, we're doing calls, it's getting picked up by the answering service, so we're good there. The one thing that I brought up that we've talked about today with Councilman Hartman and Chief Anderson was a phone number over at the fire department. It's considered to be their fire phone. It's a 756 number that if the person calls it, even though it's over there, it rings straight to Red Center, and Red Center answers it. And I have a problem with that, and my problem being is that we're paying close to $100 a month for a phone, that the residents that are here now know the system 911.
Can I intervene real quick? And I
Yeah, because you
apologize
have
because.
something you wanna add to it.
Yes, because when I talked to Debbie, I hadn't had a chance to talk to Mark up at Red Center. Mark Boosted, I reached out to him today on that number. And Mark filled me in on stuff that I was not aware. Anybody that has a medical alarm, the medical alarm goes through that 756 number. So if we would eliminate that number, anybody with a medical alarm, we're gonna have problems. And I was not aware of that.
But I think he needs to give you more, and I'll tell you why. The neighbor man that I helped at his home, he had a medical alert system, and his dialed me, his son, or 911. It didn't dial this. Mr. Samsels did not dial a 756, those people called 911 for him.
Oh, yeah?
That's why I'm just sort of shocked.
Well, and that's, when I called him, I said I was all for getting rid of that line, and he told me that was the first problem he brought up. And then the next statistic he gave me was, they just had an LAPC meeting last month, I guess, and he said the LAPC said that 89% of calls are coming through 911, but 11% are still coming through landlines. And I said, well, I'll bring this information to council, because I said, I know that you wanted to bring it up tonight. But the main concern he had was with, well, like I said, the medical alert buttons and stuff, because he said that's the number they go through, because he said medical alert will not call 911, was what he told me. So,
Oh, it doesn't call 911?
no, he
That
said
doesn't
medical
make any
alert,
sense.
he said the button actually goes to a call service.
Right.
The call service listens to what they need, and then they dial the pre-programmed 756 number, which rings right to Red Center, is how he explained it to me.
You would think it did.
I mean, I can look into it more before we make a decision, and I think $100 a month is very excessive too, but if we're gonna hurt people that, and I mean, I know we got a lot of people that have, medical alerts and stuff in town, we got a lot of elderly. I just wanna be sure before we make a final decision,
Now, this isn't your work number you got over there.
No,
Okay.
this is we actually have 4 lines at the fire department. We have a private line in the chief's office, a business line. Both of them lines are paid for by the Firemen's Association. Then we have a fax line, which is a 2058 number, and we have a fire line, which is 2211. We have 4 lines over there. The village pays for 2, the association pays for 2.
Do you know that number, the 2211?
2211, if you
I
dial
never heard of it.
756-2211, it rings directly to Red Center. It will ring one time at the station on a red phone, and Red Center will pick up as soon as it rings.
Do you have any idea how many calls that line gets per month, per year?
I have no, I mean, we could try to get a hold of the phone company and ask them, maybe they could give us
I
that
mean,
answer.
that
I
would
have
be
no
nice to
idea.
know,
I mean, I can research it further, I'll be, and again, tomorrow over there, if you want me to make some phone calls and try to figure out more information and go further with it, I definitely will. Cause like I said, I was just like you, I was all for getting rid of it, and then I thought, man, I better reach out to Mark at Red Center and make sure, and this is when he gave me this information, so.
Well, if 89% come in at 911, so you're saying the difference would be that people.
Right, he's saying the 11% of the population still calls the 7-digit number to get emergency help. Was a statistic he gave me today that come out of an LAPC meeting from last month. And I mean, I find that amazing because 911's been in place for 30-some years. You would think everybody knows you pick up the phone and dial 911, but maybe not.
I had the same problem with my apartment. It was our landline, and I switched to the cell phone at 35 a month. So we kept our landline, we got rid of the landline. We just had cell phones sitting there, just call forward.
Well,
And I mean, maybe we could do that. If it's cheaper, maybe we could do something like they did down there. Do the cell phone and just have it forwarded to Red Center. If we can keep the same number, I don't see why it would hurt. We don't talk on that phone. If you pick it up, you'll actually talk to Red Center.
I called it.
Yeah, they'll right away, they'll answer Beach City
Oh,
Fire and
yeah.
Rescue. And unfortunately, people think they're talking to us and they're not. They're talking to a guy up in Jackson Township, so. I mean, they'll call that and they'll be like, I'm in the yellow house beside the brown one, and these guys have no idea what they're talking about, you know. And then when we get there, they're calling us crazy. How did you not know? I've been here for, you gotta understand, you're not talking to us, you're talking to them, you know.
So when Life Alert, well, that's a brand name, but an alarm, a medical alarm, theirs goes off. It calls that number and goes right to dispatch.
Right.
Because that's what whoever they're signed on with
It's
has
set
put in
up to
there.
do, right. Now, can they go back through and change that? I don't know. I don't know them answers. I do know when I asked Mark today, I said, does all the communities still have a 7-digit number? He said, yes, they do. He said, everybody they dispatch for has a direct number to come into Red Center. So, and he even included the police department. He said, everybody they dispatch for. But
So you're saying, Kurt, what we could do maybe is we need to keep this, throw it to a cell phone.
and maybe
That's
it'd
what
be cheaper.
because mine was a little over $100 a month for my landline, which for my cell phone that my officers had anyways, they transfer at the end of and you guys can just leave it sit there plugged in. But at the end of the shift, they transfer the number to dispatch. We pay $35 a month for that cell phone. We were paying over $100 a month for a landline.
We have a spare one, okay.
That might be a thing. to do.
And like I said,
It's up to
I'm
them.
perfectly fine with that, but I don't know that canceling the number altogether is the right thing to do now that I've talked to, because I was all for it, like I said, with you and John earlier. And then once I talked to Mark, I'm like, we better look into this a little
I
further.
find it troubling that those medical alarms don't call 911.
I do too, actually. I really do. That's,
Yeah. I bet most people don't know that. I never knew that. Well, you said your mother even had
but
one.
I will be honest with you, if anybody really knows how 911 works, and I hate to say this on record, but if you call 911, you are sent to the Stark County Sheriff's Department. Okay, the Sheriff's Department's gonna say, do you want fire, police, or EMS? You're gonna tell them, I need an ambulance or whatever, and they're gonna say, please hold, and people don't understand that. But they're telling you to hold because they're transferring you to our dispatch center. And at that time, it'll spread a little fax out, and it'll tell them who's calling, where they're at, and what agency they dispatch, and when they answer the phone, they're gonna say, Beach City Fire and Rescue, what's your emergency? And then they're gonna go through the same spiel again, I live at this address, I need an ambulance, I think I'm having a heart attack. Now they're gonna finally dispatch you. So honestly, you hit a medic alert, you talk to a company that got your medic alert, and they dial directly to Red Center. I hate to say it, but it's actually a little quicker. So they're eliminating that middleman. And that's why they've been pushing for a central dispatch center in Stark County for years. And it's just, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. It's just too many agencies for one dispatch center to handle. I mean, it's just, but the Marks radios are helping, but that's not gonna eliminate getting dispatched out. It's still the same issues.
Interesting.
Okay. We have an employee that will be going on our health insurance this whole time. And they've signed up for the different types of the Medicare coverage and policies. What we did the last time when it was one of the linemen years ago that did this, bill was still sent through the village. They no longer do that. They bill these people direct. So when they leave at their retirement stage, they don't have to transfer the policy. It's already done in the beginning. But we paid his the same way that we do all the full-time employees. So for this person, the total amount of her coverage for her medical is gonna be $161.01 a month. We will be saving $270.31 per month on this person. But the bill's going to her and not us. My question to you is, will you vote to have me reimburse her on a monthly basis to put it back into her checking account to cover that cost? We would be paying it anyhow.
Well, wait, you lost me somewhere. If she's not gonna be on our insurance, why are we paying to begin with?
She works here. She works here. They used to bill our insurance company directly when these people were at Medicare age.
Mhm.
They don't do that anymore. They bill the person instead of company.
But that person's not gonna have our insurance, right?
No.
So what are we paying for? What,
For
I'm
the
missing
100,
something.
we would be paying the 100 and some a month
Less-
towards her.
Less her 15% towards her policy, because we pay full-time insurance.
And instead of paying 400, we would be reimbursing her the $100 and some a month, which we still save 200 and some a month. We're saving by paying her the 177 or whatever it was to pay her insurance with.
Or she can stay in our policy, we pay full price.
I got you now,
Now
okay.
you
So
get
she does have insurance,
Yeah.
it's just, okay.
Yes.
She's
but-
switching
We're moving the
insurance.
buckets, okay.
Yeah,
I
we're
got
moving
you.
it
I got
around,
you.
and when we set it up.
Monday,
Yeah, when we set it up, Cesar was amazed at what if she would've did this a while ago, we could've been saving this. But she didn't, and now she's going to, so, we'll be saving over $3,000 a year just on her
Wow.
insurance. If we agree to reimburse it to her.
170.
Well, it's $161 a month for her. But we would take off 15%, because she would have to pay the 15% like everybody else does on their insurance. But we would reimburse her the difference and put it back in her check.
I would make a motion that we reimburse her the difference towards her Medicare, right?
Yeah, it's the Medicare policy.
How would that, I got a question for you, how would that come out? She's not gonna have to pay taxes on that, is she? The money that we reimburse her?
Not right now. Well, you know what, I don't know.
I mean, would it be almost, how would it get paid, through payroll?
Good question.
That would come still through the medical insurance first.
Mhm.
I would think.
It would come out of that account.
It comes out, it could come out of Medicare, but see, right now, we don't have even the employees pay their 15%.
So you'd have to figure out, make her a 1099 at the end of the year to cover that expense so that she can file that on her taxes, right?
Why would it be any different than if you was an employee and you were billing your company
I
for
see no-
expenses you
I
pay
see
for out
no-
of your pocket?
I'm only trying to cover her, because she's gonna be receiving more money, but it's still gonna pay for her insurance. It's coming out of her, she's gonna be paying that towards her insurance anyhow. Yeah, it'd be a wash.
I'm all
But
for it as long as
she would have
it
to
adds up at the
bill
end of the thing to
Or
where,
submit,
you know.
submit that money to Debbie to be reimbursed. You wouldn't just arbitrarily put it in her paycheck. You
Right.
might get stuck with paying taxes on it.
Yeah, so she would have to submit that to us for
Reimbursement.
reimbursement, yes.
You better do some more checking, Debbie, before we end up voting on this.
We have till April 1st.
We've done it
If not,
before.
we're gonna keep her on the policy, we'll just keep paying for it.
We've done it
We've
before?
this Before, right?
Well, we did it for a gentleman that was here, but the insurance company sent the bill to me, under the village's
So
name.
you just paid it.
And they're sending the bill to
To
her.
Is that just for her Medicare, or is it also for a supplemental?
It's a Medicare, it's both together, it's a Medicare and a prescription.
Part D.
There's no supplemental in there.
Not that I'm aware of.
It's just
I mean,
basic
she's still,
Medicare.
and she's still gonna pay 20% of it,
Yeah, because that's what I pay.
Huh?
The Medicare I take out, then I pay 20% to another company.
I'm sure whatever questions you have, you can get somebody to answer them to make sure we're doing it, I hate to say legally, but so if an audit comes in, they don't say, well, where did this money come from, you know?
1-800-Medicaid. I didn't call him.
We called Dan.
I'll call Cesar,
Cecil.
yeah.
But we should still be able to,
By
Oh,
the next meeting, yeah.
we should be able to do, you can probably do it
I'll
tonight.
second the motion, we'll see what happens.
Bennett? Yeah. Thayer?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
If anything doesn't seem right, Deb, just come back to us tonight.
And that's a substantial amount of money. Just
Why
saying, yeah.
couldn't she receive the bill?
Well, she probably could go in and print a bill off, but they, see, what they wanna do is they wanna take it, they don't actually bill her, they pull it from her account.
No.
Yeah, see, they're
So
good.
she's filing for her social security.
Yes.
Okay, so they're
Yeah.
gonna take that money directly out of her social security.
Is that how they do it?
Yeah, before they deposit in your account.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say,
comes
I'm
out.
not-
All you're gonna get is, one time a year, they're gonna show you how much they take out. That's all they do, they show you once a year.
My railroad retirement always has a big Medicare deduction.
And the last thing I have is, I'm working on the USDA yearly report, it's due by the end of March. That's it.
Alright, thank you. Fire department, police department.
Good question. I just need some money tonight, guys.
Oh, I should've went first.
I don't need nearly as much as you.
You know, it's a good thing Willie retired.
I know.
You guys would have it in intensive care.
So, we need to just restock some of our supplies. We looked at a supply company and it's gonna cost me over $500 to go with them to get what I need. Or I've got this cool site called Amazon, where I get the same thing and get everything I need plus some for $357.79. So what I need is, I need to get some nitrile gloves. Those are the ones that they're a little bit stronger, they're supposed to be a little poke proof. Plus they cover us from the fentanyl and the powder, so I'm gonna need 2 boxes of those. We need to get DNA collection kits with their little swabs, so, we used the last of them in our last burglary. The guy led all over the place, so we were getting some blood. Had to use in different spots there, so we're gonna need some of those. I'm gonna need a case of oil, which I'm getting off Amazon too. And it's a lot cheaper than motor oil for the car. It's
I was gonna
cheaper
say,
than
that's
getting it
good
from
value.
from AutoZone, I believe. I need large plastic evidence bags. I need some paper evidence bags. I need evidence tape. I need to get 2 sizes of gloves, so large and extra large gloves for both out of those. And then I also want to get a battery pack jumper for the cars. There's a lot of times that if our cruiser would die or something, we just hook the jumper pack up to it instead of hooking the cruiser up to another cruiser. Or say we get somebody that their car dies and needs jumped. I don't want to be hooking jumper cables up to the cruiser and accidentally cross those and then fry everything in our system. The thing's $80 to get this power box. So instead of hooking jumper cables up to the cruiser, I'd much rather just do that. I've already talked to Debbie about it, so I just need.
Where will that come to? Amazon too?
Everything's coming from Amazon.
Well, good luck with them things, because I have 2 of them. I can never get them to work right. But at least try it.
What, battery thing? Really?
I've got 2 and they work
My
great.
son's got one,
My
Like
son's
everybody
got
says
a couple
on the internet.
Yeah,
If I wanted to check myself out at Walmart, I would. If I didn't, I'd order from Amazon.
So I can save money this way. Like I said, the stuff that I got the first quote for, and I always try to get multiple quotes for all these supplies I need, not including the oil or the jumper pack, was over $500. So I'm gonna go with Amazon, who has the exact same, it has everything I need on it. I looked at it and I'm like, okay. So they're again earning business. So he said $357.79, and that's all I've got tonight.
And this is for use in Beach City, right?
It would be
City of Woolmont.
Detroit and Vermont, which they pay extra
Pay
to
it.
cover that.
Mhm. Can you get the power pack with the AED option with it?
That would be nice. I mean, I'm sure we could, if we crossed them and.
Well, they,
Do you ever have any feedback on how the residents in that feel about the police department?
All the time.
Okay? Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the one, I thought you were talking about the.
Yeah.
No, not that thing.
Wilmot's completely happy with it. I've actually got a, I don't know if he would say it, he's one of the business owners in Wilmot here tonight. He lives in town now. So I haven't heard any complaints, and I'm sure.
They all have good things to say, a lot of it. And I'd hear about it, trust me. Yeah, I haven't heard one negative thing. That's what I was just telling Kurt the other day, so that's good. I did some years on council in Wilmot, and it's hard to go a long time without getting somebody to complain about something, you know. So it's been awesome.
So, well, we appreciate having them. I think it's a really good deal for both towns. They pay enough. Whenever we first started the contract, I included in on that contract raises and equipment. Plus we use their cruiser, so it's definitely, it does very well for us, and as well as them, they have a lot more police coverage, so.
I'll make a motion for the 357.
Second.
Thanks, guys.
Bennett? Yes. Thayer?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yeah.
And Schott?
Okay, Chief Anderson?
I got a few things. Calls to date, we've run 41 calls as of January 1st. Same as I reported last time, we've covered all of our calls except for the one, which is phenomenal. Again, another month down, and we've handled everything without any help, minus the structure fire in the township a few weeks ago, which we did automatic aid for that. The Marks radio equipment is all installed, our repeaters are all in. Everything appears to be running fairly well. All the issues have been fixed with the police department. We can communicate with them now. And unfortunately, I'm trying to get an answer on that bill. If you guys remember, it's been a while ago when that regional grant went through. They did not award the full amount for the portable radios. And I'm trying to get an answer from, I hate to say on record that I'm not pleased with BNC, but I'm thoroughly not pleased with BNC, which is who they went through with the regional grant, but we're getting through it. So that's gonna be coming soon, I'm sure, that bill, and hopefully it don't kill us, so. The gas-powered fans back that you guys approved a few weeks ago getting redone. Winesburg Lawn and Garden actually treated us very well. I sent a saw over also that had a bad trigger. They fixed the fan and the saw for the same amount that they quoted me on just the fan. They treated us very well. They're both back, both are working great, and they're both back on the truck. I wanna remind everybody again that the 2 mil, and I'm sure Steven's on top of it, 2 mil 5-year levy, I wanna stay on top of that, make sure we don't miss our deadline for the November ballot. I still believe that that'll secure us enough money to get what we need to get. You know, and we should be in good shape. I don't think we're asking for too much or too little there. I do want to give an update on the BWC grant. I got an email today, and I'm very proud to announce that we got the full $40,000. It should be coming in 12, they said up to 12 weeks. That will put us back to our original plan that we were buying 2 power load systems and 1 power cot. Our cost match on that was the $28,000, which we were financing, as you guys all know, over the course of, I believe it was 3 years. I didn't bring the paper with me. I know you guys got that. When the money comes in, which will be up to 12 weeks, I will get a hold of Allison then and make the order, make the official order through Stryker. With that 5 mil, 2 mil 5-year levy, that's what I'm hoping to replace and buy the other cot with, so we will be back up to 2 full power cots, pending the levy goes through. And we'll be continuing on with the game plan that we had at the meeting several months ago, but that just come through today. I want to remind everybody again, the quarter auction is on March 23rd. The doors open at 5:30. The auction is at 6. That's actually put on by our Firemen's Social Assembly. It's a group of ladies. Most of them are firemen's wives and of that sort. They treat us very well. They donate a lot of money to the association. They're actually paying half of painting the inside of our building as we speak right now. The building's in complete shambles because we're currently painting. So they help us out a lot, and the more support we can get them, the better we'll be too. The one thing I do gotta ask for tonight, and I hate to now that Guype's only asking $300. SCBA flow testing is due. Unfortunately, all of our SCBA, which is our air packs we wear on fires, the bottles are all due for hydro test. That's what's gonna kill us this year. We did not do it last year, if you remember, we skipped out on them and the jaws to try to save money there at the end of the year. Unfortunately, we have 4 ISI packs, 7 Scott packs. 1 Scott pack will have to be repaired. We had the one that I agreed we would do away with. That took us down to 7. On the last fire, we realized one of the packs' pass devices are not working. We're down to 6 now, so that will have to be repaired. We can't function with 6 packs. I'm hoping it'll be minimal cost. He said that he figured it was probably a speaker, but he couldn't give me a quote on that. But to flow test 4 ISIs, 7 Scott packs, and hydro tests to be 16 plus 8 bottles. We're looking at a total of $1,808.40. Like I said, that's gonna be split over 2 companies. I have to get Howe in to test the ISIs, and Warren Fire will test the Scotts and do all the hydro testing. Howe does not hydro test. Unfortunately, that's something, I mean, we could put off a little bit, but we're gonna have to do it soon. We ain't gonna be able to go the whole year without doing it. The one thing that does scare me, I just talked to Chief Clusie Brewster tonight, when they hydro tested their bottles last year, there were some bottles that if they come back no good, I mean, we're stuck buying new, you know, so I'm gonna keep our fingers crossed, hope the hydrostat testing goes good, and it is what it is. Once they're bad, they destroy the bottle, they will not fix them, so, and I mean, this is our guy's safety, so we gotta do what we gotta do.
180840,
1808.40 is the total amount I'm asking.
that's the total amount you're asking tonight?
Yes.
I'll make a motion for the $1,808.40.
That takes up the bottles too, right?
That'll do all our bottles. The only thing that will not do is our actual Cascade and our rescue truck. He said depending on them bottles, I gotta get somebody to climb in there. Them bottles are mounted clear in the middle of the box. Depending on the size, he said we're probably looking at like 60 some to hydros test them, and another so much for delivery because they send them out. But I'll get a price for sure on them, and we'll do that at a later date. But that'll take care of all of our SCBA's, and we'll be in good shape. Hopefully for flow testing until next year, we won't have to hydro test the bottles for another 5 years. So
And I'll second that motion.
Bennett?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Shock.
One question on the grass fire truck.
yes.
What did they actually do? Did they, on the paper coming back for $569?
$569. What they did is they tore into the motor. Well, they did a bunch of diagnostic tests on it. They couldn't get anything to come up. So they actually, since they had it almost 3 weeks, he finally started tearing the motor down. When he got the motor tore down, everything was so built up with carbon in that motor, they had to start cleaning everything. So he ran all kinds of cleaners through it. Most of that bill, unfortunately, is labor of tearing the motor down and putting it back together. We have not had any problems with it since. I have had the guys every Tuesday, I've had somebody take at least that truck out and run it. This year in this weather, it's kind of a pain, but I would rather keep up on the truck and keep cleaning it and, you
Did
know.
Ford Garage tell you to put something in there?
They did not, and we had brought that up as I was running out for that fire call the last time, and I apologize, I did not get back with them, but I will call them tomorrow.
Let me know whether they
And if
recommend
they
that.
suggest that, then I'll get back with you and we'll get some additives and we'll put it in when we put fuel in and stuff.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all I got.
Can we make a motion for executive session for fire personnel?
Bennett?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yes.
Back to executive session at 8:07 PM. You're gonna vote to come back?
Make a motion.
Second?
Bennett?
Yes.
Fair?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Chuck?
Yes.
Action taken?
I'd like to make a motion to send letters to,
Fire
fire department personnel.
Second?
I would just state, for the record, that the chief, has provided an update on everybody's performance with the fire department, and there's certain members of the fire department who have not been responding to calls, and I've been instructed to prepare a letter to those members who have not been responding to calls or performing in accordance with the policy, asking that they begin complying with those policies, otherwise face removal from the department as provided by law.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Hartman,
Yes.
McKinney.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
And Shop.
Yes.
Thank you. Where we at now? Village Administrator, Mr. Lambert, do you have anything for us tonight?
Couple items. Got a quote on getting the sign redone out front, out here, East City sign,
Both of them. We got two of them there, don't we?
there's one.
We only got
There's one on the side of the wall here.
I just got the price on doing that one there, that's what me and you talked about, was that one. You
Well,
want that one done too?
This one's bad too.
Okay, then I'll go back and, we're gonna go ahead and get that one done now, and
Is that what you wanna do? What kind of price you got on that?
$672.50.
Wow, how much you do?
Has to take the sign down, take it, have it redone, and bring it back. And also, we're gonna make any changes, we can't really make any changes to it. I was just gonna get it done as is and have it put back up.
See, the wood is starting to turn because of the weather.
Yeah, he's down here, blasting it, water blasting it, you know, fixing it. It's gonna be removed, taken over, get fixed, so.
Do you wanna do one or you wanna do both of them?
It might be cheaper if we have them both done at the same time, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
It
I'll go
might-
back, I'll just go
yeah.
back, get that one put on and.
See what it can do for us.
Bring it back.
All right, thanks.
So we wanna take a vote on that and go ahead and,
No, cause there'll be
No,
more
no.
money.
No, he's gonna see it, he's gonna
Okay.
see them get them both.
okay.
I'll get with him and get it back to you.
I'd already told him about the traffic light over, or the light over by the post office is out.
Backhoe bucket, need a new one for it. Got a couple quotes, we'll go order a new bucket for that, either this week or next week. It's got a run rate between $1,500 to $2,000 for a new bucket for that.
What
It's
is
just-
actually wrong with the bucket itself?
It's wore through in the bottom, you know.
Okay, that's what I
It's
wanted to
wearing
know.
through. The cutter, the bar on the front is shot. And you didn't have one of the bucket rebuilt, so you buy one cheaper, you have one made.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll be ordering that either this week or next week for that. That trench box, the workman's comp says we have to have by April the 1st. I've got two quotes that are both high. I'm still working with another guy. He can build us one, this company. I hope I can get the price down. Right now, both prices I got in are $17,000 for these boxes. And, I know it sounds high, but they got you.
I think Glick told me and I could be wrong on this. I thought he said 6,000.
Well, I'm working with this other guy, built them, I'm gonna see what I can do.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm still working on that, but I have to have something in place by April the 1st. The PO has to be issued by April the 1st, or we'll be in violation.
Do we have, the other things that they had requested that we did were the training and that were?
I got two more guys go to the training March 20th, but everybody will be trained, except for Lonnie, and he's been off with surgery, so he couldn't win anyway. As soon as school comes up and he gets back to work, I'll send him.
No, he will be the one going for the competent person
I
training?
sent, everybody that went, I sent him that competent.
Oh, okay, good.
That way,
Excellent. We got.
everybody's good across the board.
Whoever's there's, excellent.
Everybody's trained the same. So that's, the last one will be the 20th of this month.
Well, we got one more meeting before he's gotta get that done on April the 1st. Hopefully you get to, 16,000 is just outrageous.
If I get it down to 8 or 10,000, I'm just gonna go ahead and order, cause I can spend that much money anyway, or I can spend more than that.
Without council approval.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get it on order so we ain't in violation. Cause they're gonna be a real pain if we don't get it done. Anyway, I'm working on that. Come May or June, I'm gonna start working on replacing 2 pickup trucks. Gotta have 2 pickup trucks. So I'm gonna start working on getting them replaced, doing the state grant. So I'll be coming in with some prices on that. Both pickup trucks we got now at the sewer plant, one's for the sewer plant, the other one is water, sewer, electric. both of them are shot. The one, well, I informed you here a few months back, it shouldn't even be, they recommend we don't even use it, but we still do, but we do not take it out of town. That one has to be replaced, and the other one, door, come loose on it the other day, and boys, got some pieces and parts and put it back together, we got the door back on. So, in the next couple of months, I'm gonna be pricing for a couple new pickup trucks for the city.
When we get the state things through the state, do they do the undercoat and everything for them?
I don't know, I'll find out.
Or do we gotta do that ourselves?
Nowadays, most trucks come, most of your new vehicles come undercoated and everything anyway.
Okay.
Most of them are plastic. So, anyway, I'm gonna be doing that in the next couple of months. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Donnie. Stephen, do you have anything for us tonight?
Just a quick update on the church property. As I recall, looking at the docket, service has been perfected on it, and there's a valuation hearing before the Board of Revision in early April.
It'll be the Church Street.
Church Street property, yes, oh, I apologize. No, not the church,
Church
the
Avenue.
vacant property
Church
with
Avenue.
a mobile home on it. So either the first meeting or second meeting of April, I should have additional information on it, but it is proceeding before the Stark County Board of Revision. I don't have anything else.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything we need to go over tonight?
Yes, last week I called all council members, and I'd like to make a motion now, bring it up that we send posthumously, yeah, well, that we send Hazel Bennett and Georgie to,
Leadership program.
yeah, the Leadership Stark County Program, which was held last Thursday, February the 28th. And I had already called all the council members about it.
Yeah, and Rod called me as well, and I think everybody was in agreement, but if you need a thing for it, then.
Bennett,
Yes.
Thayer,
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
And Shuck.
Yes. Could I say, George and I went to that meeting and, we had some papers copied off. It gives you some idea what it was about. It was interesting, we got a couple of books that you guys can look at if you want. You know, it was very interesting. We got some answers that we were looking for, and
Good.
it really came out of it.
We got some answers we weren't looking for.
Well, sometimes that goes along with you.
Some good ones though, some good ones.
Kenny, can you work through the CIC?
Yes.
It cleared up some stuff that you guys had. Good, excellent, great. Glad to hear that. Well, that was well worth it.
And also, I would like to mention that I attended, on that same day, I attended the Stark County Regional Planning Commission meeting. And papers for all that was from that meeting are here, along with Hazel's 2 books, for anybody who's interested.
Thursday, Rod is going to be going with me up to the Stark County Health Department's yearly commission, Combined General Health District Advisory Council annual meeting. He's gonna go with me on Thursday up there. Anybody else wants to go? You're welcome to go.
Okay, I don't have the game on.
Let me know by Thursday if anybody else wants to go.
No, that's radiation.
I do, want to say, I did send some information on House Bill 62, and it was on the, fuel tax, if you think about putting on. And they're having a meeting, sometime in March, that, I talked to Georgie about, and was kind of picking her out, and an official person needs to go.
Okay.
Sometime in March, that's this month.
Where's it at?
Columbus.
It's in Columbus. be on the bottom and,
In what way would this benefit us? Help me trying to look it up here
the
real quick.
second page.
The village receives funds from the gas tax.
From the gas tax,
That
from-
people pay.
You're talking gasoline
Gasoline
that's
tax.
sold in town.
Well, sold
Everywhere
in the state.
Okay. Just wanna make sure we're
what'll
talking
be
about
is,
gas.
when you register that, they'll set up a thing for you to, kind of lobby the representatives out of your district
Mm-hmm.
on that.
Mark, is this the one, March 27th?
Sounds right.
I have to ask a question, because this may sound kind of stupid, but are you lobbying for it or against the gas tax?
Well, that's what I want to kind of discuss, what I want to do. And, I did have a paper. Oh, right here. Give you an idea. Right now, Wilmot brings in $7,007, in this, monies they have to work with. By the end of year 2000, they would be up to 21,000 with that.
This is gas taxing.
Yeah, and Beat City is right now at 40,968, and by year 24, it'd be up to 76,490.
That would come into our funds, into our.
From the tax.
If they keep the percentages the way the percentages are now.
And you can figure the state's gonna cut them so they get a
State
bigger
gets
chunk.
60-some%.
Yeah.
40-some.
If you go with past history, you're right.
I always heard that, the municipalities in the county divided the money, and they always said, don't go over to the county to buy gas. You benefit your own hometown if you buy gas in Stark
Your own-
County.
in your
Since
own
we're in
county.
Stark County, instead of going down to Strasburg into
Makes
Stark County.
sense.
Sorry, Barb.
Strasburg's gas always is cheaper. We're always about 10 cents cheaper than anybody, so.
Yeah, that's why I go down there, it's cheaper.
You're killing us, Donnie. Jeez, man.
You wanna reimburse?
Trader? Yeah, we're gonna reimburse Donnie for this.
Now, they did bring up that, they're gonna work on the bridge probably this summer.
I will try to dig up that stuff that I got.
Well.
It's either an email or paper.
Yeah, sure, I thought you had that.
I did.
I got a copy off you, I'm sure I did.
Anything else? Oh, we had that moment of silence for Mrs. Kaloa tonight. They're not having a service right now, so I mean, there's nothing to send. But when they do have something in later on in the spring, we should probably.
Or, if they want, would you want them to
They
send
did.
it to you?
They had it, it was actually the donations were to go to the Beach City Fire Department.
For the church in Wilmot.
Or one of the churches in Wilmot. All right, if there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.